if you send one thing, that thing will tend to happen more than the other thing. If you send another thing, that thing will happen.
Elon Musk is one of the most eccentric people on the planet right now. There is little doubt of that, but in truth, he's also one of the men who helped push the charge to get the space program back up and running, as well as shooting for the moon. He even made SpaceX, his own space agency, to help with this so that they weren't putting all their eggs in one basket. And his goal truly is to take us to Mars and colonize it. But how exactly are we going to make that happen? We'll break it down for you. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
Number 8. SpaceX in a nutshell. There have been a lot of questions over the years as to what SpaceX really is and how Elon Musk is making it all work to such a grand degree that they're even launching astronauts into space. Well, to quote their website, SpaceX designs, manufactures, and launches advanced rockets and spacecraft. The company was founded in 2002 to revolutionize space technology, with the ultimate goal of enabling people to live on other planets. Elon Musk is a futurist, and he believes in getting people not just into space, but onto Mars, no matter what. Back in early 2000, NASA got a massive budget cut, so Elon decided to put his money where his mouth is and try to get NASA more involved by inspiring a new space race. Part of his plan was to go to Russia and buy up their rockets to use them for his plans with NASA. He eventually realized he didn't need them. All he needed was a company to make it happen. A company that he himself could own, operate, and make the right calls without any bureaucracy. As he started to further formulate that plan, he realized an interesting truth about building rockets and spaceships. The price wasn't nearly as high as NASA and other government-powered agencies were stating, mainly because they were importing all the materials. But if his company could build everything in-house, the cost of building rockets would plummet and they'd have a better gross profit margin. Thus, SpaceX was born. Since then, SpaceX has developed all sorts of spacecraft that has not only launched into space, but have orbited the Earth and even docked onto the International Space Station. And as you all likely witnessed in recent weeks, they had their first manned mission and it was a complete success, which means they're on track for the Mars mission. Number 7. The early plans.
Falcon Heavy is the first time that there's something that's arguably even in the super heavy class, or somewhere between heavy and super heavy.
The SpaceX program is preparing their own colonization of Mars. And to start this off, they're sending cargo ships to the Red Planet via their big Falcon rocket. Believe it or not, they're preparing this part of the mission right now and aim to set them into space in 2022. And once those touch down, they'll send out the first wave of colonists in 2024. Now, if you're wondering what will be on these cargo ships, that's pretty easy. To help speed up the process of both landing on Mars and setting up their first Martian base, SpaceX will use their BRF ships to go and place food, energy supplies, mining and building equipment, and more on the planet. The purpose of this is to ensure that the first base of the colonists have everything they will likely need and be easily accessible so that they can get everything set up and rolling ASAP. Now obviously things could change by 2022 or 2024, including advancements on the cargo ships or a setback that delays plans. Anything is possible when it comes to space travel, but the point we need to make here is that these BFRs are the best chance we have of getting Mars at a good period of time with people on them. And once that happens, the colonization can begin. Number 6. The first colonists. So let's say that SpaceX goes and gets the supplies to Mars without much issue. This means they can send people there. But where will they live? The plan is a singular massive base to start the colonization with. The base itself will be 41 feet tall, 16 feet wide, and have 3 different airlocks that will allow the colonists to go from the inside to the outside with minimal change in air pressure. It's stated that the initial team of colonists would be about 6 people, which is fair for a first attempt at surviving on Mars. Obviously, you can't just start off with a large city, If it proves successful though, and there are no serious issues with the base in terms of air pressure, longevity, and more bases could be sent. Ones that could connect to each other via pressure tubes, not unlike various sci-fi shows that movies have shown. Slowly but surely, a vast space colony would be grown. It won't be easy or likely fast, but it will slowly start to happen, and that's what matters. Number 5. The long way back.
Ships there have plenty of landed mass to construct the propellant depot.
I'm sure some of you are thinking that if the first wave of people find success on living on Mars, then more people will be sent to join them right then and there. And then once that happens, we'll start to truly colonize Mars. But that's honestly not Elon's plan, because he knows that there are dangers that they aren't thinking about right now, and thus the plan needs to consist of them going to Mars and then coming back to Earth. The plan is for them to live on Mars for about 9 months. Then after that, go back into their ship and head for home, which would be the first round trip from Mars in history, a true milestone for mankind, and a trip that could be the first of many should things go well in the large scale. Once they're back, they'll be tested rigorously. They'll be examined in terms of their bodies and how they've been affected by Martian gravity, its environment, the stress of living on Mars, etc. These tests will determine not only what we send people back to Mars, but how we send them back. Number 4. The dangers of Mars.
Our next flight after that might actually just be all the way to orbit with a booster and the ship.
While the world is eagerly in one way or another waiting for us to go to Mars, those who are making the missions and preparing the astronauts are having no delusions of grandeur of what may come. They've worried about everything they have to do just to survive on Mars. And don't forget, Mars is not Earth, and as such, things like power, food, water, breathable air, and more that we take for granted will not be waiting for us on Mars. That's part of the reason for the early supplies portion of the plan, because the colonists need to have a lot waiting for them if they're going to make it through those first 9 months of the mission. We're talking water purifiers, food makers of various kinds, as you can't plant things on Martian soil in its state because it's toxic, power generators, air pressurization sections in the base, and more. It's not simple and it won't be easy. And that's still not mentioning other problems the colonists will face. So those first 9 months are going to reveal a lot to people about how and if they'll be able to live on Mars, but whether making a long-term colony is even feasible or likely. Number 3. Round 2. The goal of the second mission, should it happen, will be to help not just expand the colony, but help expand the potential of the colony, including giving them more materials and equipment to work with as they try and truly establish an everlasting colony on Mars, which is obviously the goal because to just have one small town on Mars isn't how humanity pictures our path across the star. So how will they help set up a larger colony? The answer is that it's a space cranes. No, really. Elon wants to make cranes that'll be able to go up into space, grab equipment from the shuttles that orbit it, and then bring it back down to the research base so that colonists can use it. This would allow more speedy travel and less work for the colonists themselves. Not to mention, it would allow for the transport of heavier materials without the fear of losing them during flight. Plus, the cranes will be reusable for some time, ensuring their worth. The more the colony expands, the more options and freedom the colonists have. It's also speculated that by that point in time, other space agencies will work with SpaceX and NASA in order to help send supplies, gear, and more to the colony. Number 2. Colony by 2050?
But fortunately, Beta smiled upon us and brought us to this day.
If you listen to Elon, which isn't always a good idea for the record, he truly believes, that they'll be able to get a colony built and filled with about 1 million people by 2050, which is now less than 30 years away and about 25 years after the landing of the colonists should everything go right. Now that might sound ambitious, and it is, but Elon has a plan for it. In short, he claims that once things are ready to send regular colonists to the moon, as in commonplace folk and not just scientific researchers and such, they'll be sending up ships carrying hundreds, if not thousands of people to Mars as many times as they can. Multiply this across multiple points in a year and add about 20 years of travel and such, and he might just do it. Now, what the state of the colony will be by 2050, well, that's still a mystery. But Elon is willing to fight to find out what that mystery will be. Number 1. Will we truly colonize Mars?
That's the underlying principle behind Tesla and SpaceX.
Elon Musk paints a rather rosy picture as to the future of mankind in space and on Mars, and that's part of the reason people are so fascinated by him. He makes things happen, like he's done with SpaceX. So if he could do that, could he go and bring us to Mars? It's honestly hard to say. The world as we know it isn't in the best place right now, and who knows what'll happen between now and his projected launch of colonists to the Red Planet. Should it happen? It would be a milestone for humanity. Should it not happen like he planned? Well, Elon's the kind of guy to not let things go, so he'll figure out a way to get us there, somehow. So what do you think? What do you think of Elon Musk and his plans for colonizing Mars? Do you believe his plan will work? Or do you think he's forgotten something important that could backfire on the mission itself? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.